Good day, class. Our topic for today is about the basics of counting. So when we talk about counting, this used to solve many different types of problems. So counting is used to determine the complexity of algorithm and is also required to determine whether there are enough telephone numbers of IP addresses to meet demand. So it has played a key role in mathematical biology, especially in sequencing data, DNA. Halimbawa is they want to check if on the paternity check, so they need to count kung nag-match ba yung number of DNA dun sa bata at saka dun sa father niya. Okay. Furthermore, counting techniques are used extensively when probabilities of events are computed. Okay. So, sinasabi rin natin that counting is the fundamental process of determining the number of elements in a set of our group. It also involves assigning a numerical value to objects or events in order to quantify and compare them. So, counting is a foundational concept in mathematics and is used in various everyday scenarios. Such as halimbawa, kung magbibilang ka, okay, bibilahin mo, ilang araw na lang kaya bago magpasko. Okay, ilang student kaya ang naka-enroll sa subject na to? Or ilang beses na ba nangyari sa akin ang, or occurrences, ilang beses na ba nangyari sa akin ang bagay na to? Okay, so dun pa lang, nagbibilang ka na. O, ilang beses ka na bang nabigo? Ilang beses ka na nagkaroon ng X? Okay, ilang beses ka na nag-succeed? Oh, so you are already counting or ilang papel na lang kaya ang natitira na nandiyan sa bag mo. Okay. So through counting, we develop our understanding of numbers, patterns, and relationships, laying the groundwork for a more advanced mathematical concepts, whether counting simple objects or complex patterns. Okay, the basics of counting provide a solid foundation for mathematical reasoning and problem solving. Okay. So, one part of counting is what we call the combinatorics. Okay. So, combinatorics, it is the study, okay, of arrangement of objects. So, if you could visualize this one, para similar siya ng pyramiding or what we call trees, whether it's just the trees. Okay. It is a stream of mathematics that concerns with the study of finite discrete structures. It deals with the study of permutation and combinations, enumerations of the set of elements. So it characterizes mathematical relationships and the properties. So sabi nga kanina, it is the study of arrangement of objects. So it deals with counting. So magbibilang ka na naman dyan. And then arranging and choosing objects of elements or elements in a structured way. So halimbawa nito, structured way. So it involves the study, sabi nga niya, study of permutation and combinations and other methods of organizing and analyzing discrete objects. So ginagamit natin ang combinatorics in various fields such as when ginagamit siya sa computer science, more on computer science, or in the probability theory or optimization to solve problems related to arrangement and selections of objects. Okay. So the important features of combinatorics, sabi ko kanina is that counting. Okay. So we need to counting the structures of the provided kind and size. Okay. To decide when particular criteria can be fulfilled and analyzing elements of the criteria such as combinatorial design. So halimbawa yun, yung meron tayo kanina doon na design, eto. So we use that one. So the trees, okay. So to identify the greatest, smallest, or optimal elements known as our external combinatorics. Okay. So combinatorics can help us count the number of orders in which something can happen. Okay. Halimbawa, let's consider the following scenario. Sa isang classroom, meron tayong tatlong student at meron tayong tatlong upuan na nasa isang row. Okay. So ilang beses kaya pwedeng upuan o ilang different orders can that pupil sit on this chair? Okay. So the combination of these three chairs in a row. Dun yung magkakaroon tayo ng solving. Okay. So we need to consider some four types of problem, which explains that combinatorics is concerned with four types of problem. Okay. The existence problem. Okay. Existence. Nagtatanong tayo dito, does X exist? Okay. In the construction problem, if X exists, how can we construct it? And then, enumeration problems, how many X are there? Alam niyo naman na kung paano gamitin yung enumeration, di ba? We are enumerating something. And optimization problems, which X is best. Okay. So we have four types of combinatorics. We had the permutation. So permutations refer to the arrangement of objects in a specific order. So we are already dealing this one in an order. Okay. The combination refer to the selection of objects without considering the order. So hindi na natin kailangan magkaroon dito ng order, ng specific order kasi we are just dealing with the combination itself. Okay. We also had what we call the multinomial coefficients. The multinomial coefficients generalize combination and allow for the counting of number of ways to partition a set of objects into a specified groups. Okay. Then compositions. Compositions involve the representation of a number as an ordered sum of positive integers. In a composition, the order of the summand matters. So meron tayo ditong tinatawag na order din. Okay. So this will be discussed later kung paano natin siya gagamitin or how to calculate using our four types of combinatorics. Okay. Before we proceed to those types of combinatorics, I need to discuss first the two basic counting principles. Okay. The two basic counting principles are the product rule and the sum rule. So, ibig sabihin, we are already multiplying or we are also adding something. Okay. So, let's start with the product rule. So, the product rule applies when a procedure is made up of separate tasks. So, marunong naman tayong mag-multiply. Pero dito kasi, we are dealing with certain problems. Okay. So, when a product procedure can be broken into a sequence of tasks, where the number of outcomes of each task is expressed as n1, n2, n3, and many more, then there are n1 times n2 times n3 to the infinity different ways to perform the procedure. Okay. So, halimbawa, we have an example like this. If I have 4 different t-shirts and 3 different pairs of shorts, how many different outfits do I have? So, we need to break down ilang pares ang pwede natin magawa sa ating 4 na t-shirt at 3 short. Okay. So, if you're going to calculate that one, 4 times this equal to 12 different outfits. So, madali lang siyang computin. But to visualize that one, I created a three diagrams. Okay. Para mas ma-visualize din natin. Okay. Here we had here are T1, T2, T3, T4. Okay. Ito yung t-shirt 1 natin, t-shirt 2, t-shirt 3, and t-shirt 4. Okay. In our t-shirt 1, pwede natin siyang ipare sa ating short 1, short 2, and short 3. Ganun din ang ating t-shirt 2, short 1, short 2, and short 3. Ang ating t-shirt 3, short 1, short 2, and short 3. And ang ating t-shirt 4, which has short 1, short 2, and short 3. So if we're going to write everything, if we're going to look for the pairs, we had here 12 different outfits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So that's how we visualize um, the product rule. Okay. Another example. At a restaurant at Cedar Point, you have the choices of 8 different entries, 2 different salads, 12 different drinks, and 6 different desserts. So, how many different diners can you choose? So, naka-indicate naman na dyan yung 8, yung 2, yung 12, and your 6. So, you just need to multiply. Okay. So, 8 times 2 times 12 times 6 is equal to 1,152 different diners. Okay. An LTO plates have 3 numbers followed by 3 letters. How many different license plates are possible if digits and letters can be repeated? Okay. So, pinag-uusapan natin dito yung 3 numbers followed by 3 letters. So, allow me to open my MS Word. Okay. Ang sabi niya diyan, three numbers. Okay. So if we're going to look at it, we're dealing with digits. So ang digits natin is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So sa isang number, we had 10 digits. Yan. Okay. And then, sa isang followed by three letters. Okay. Sa isang letter, from A to Z, okay, we had 26 letters in the alphabet. Ang sabi niya dyan, LTO license plates have three numbers followed by three letters. So, to calculate that one, we could go on to the three digits or our three numbers multiplied by our three letters. Okay. So, pag may nabasa na kayo dyan na if we're dealing with the license plate numbers and everything and they're talking about the numbers, we're already dealing with the digits. So, pag three numbers, we had three three digits na yon. So, 10 times 10 times 10. If we're dealing with letters naman, we had 26 letters in the alphabet. So, tatlong letters naman yung ilalagay natin. So, it comprises of 26. So, 26 times 26 times 26. So, huwag nyo yung kakalimutan. Every time that we're dealing with plate numbers, tapos sasabihin niya is numbers, okay, that the value of one number already is 10 digits. And the value of one letter is already 26 letters in our alphabet. So we had 17,576 different plates. So 10, wait, bumalik. Okay, 10, 10, 10. So tatlong numbers, tatlong letters, which has 26, 26, 26, tatlong letters. If we're going to multiply them all, we will be having 17,576 different plates. Okay. Another one, there are still 10 choices, sabi niya. Pero pagdating daw sa first digit natin, yung first digit natin is 10, pero pagdating sa second digit natin, magiging 9. And pagdating sa 8 digit natin, magiging third. Sa letter naman, there are 26 sa una, 25 sa pangalawa, and 24 sa pangatlo. Okay. So, alam na natin agad-agad that yung first digit natin is 10 times 9 times 8. Okay, 9, 10 for the first digit, 9 for the second digit, 8 for the third digit. Sa letter naman natin, we had 26 for the first, 25 sa pangalawa, and 24 sa pangatlo. So if we're going to multiply that one, we could produce 11,232 plates. Okay. So how many different seven-digit phone numbers are possible if the first digit cannot be a 0 or 1? Okay. So, ibig sabihin naman niya dyan, okay, we had 7 digits. Okay. So, if we're going to visualize that one, 7 digits. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Pero ang sabi niya kasi dyan, the first digit cannot be a 0 or 1, di ba? So, if we had the number, the 10 digit, we start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Pero sabi niya, dito daw sa first digit natin, hindi pwedeng 0 or 1. So, we need to omit 0 and 1, and ang matitira na lang sa digit natin will be 2, 4, 6, 8. So, this will be 8. Okay. So if we're going to calculate this one, we will be having 8 million. Okay. Okay. So the solution will be 8 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. That will be 8 million possible phone numbers. Okay. There are some certain problems na nagkakaroon ng mga value yung mga variables natin. Halimbawa dito sa example na to. Okay. The globe numbering plan specifies that a telephone number consists of 10 digits, consisting of a 3-digit area code and a 3-digit office code and a 4-digit station code. So there are some restrictions on these digits. Okay. Nag-create siya ng variable and it denote that x has a digit from 0 to 9. So, ibig sabihin, 0 to 9, meron siyang 10. Okay, 10 numbers. Okay. N naman denote a digit from 2 through 9. So, ilan yon? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, 8 yon. So, yung N natin has a value of 8. And yung Y natin, it has a digit that's 0 to 1, so 2. So, Y is equal to 2. Okay. So, if we're going to represent that one, kinineate ko na yan kanina dito. Ito, yung X natin, okay. Yung X natin has a value of 10. Okay. And then, yung N natin has a value of 8. Yung Y natin has a value of 2. Okay. So, if we're going to use NYX, yan ang nakalagay dyan, oh. NYX, okay, is equal to N is 8 times Y is 2 times X is 10. Okay. So, yun yung NYX natin. So, if we're going to calculate that one, we had 8 times 2 times 10, that is 160. Okay, yan yung NYX natin. Okay. For our NNX, okay, the value of N is 8 times 8. Then, ang X natin is 10. Okay. So, the value of NNX is 8 times 8 times 10 is equal to 640. Okay. So, the value of XXXX is equal to, so we had 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 is equal to 1,000. Okay. Okay. That is 1,000. Tapos, yung new plan niya is NYX, NNX, and then XXX. Okay. So, we had here, I'm going to copy this one, the new plan. So, let's go on with the value. So, this is 160 times 640 times 1,000. Okay. So, if I'm going to calculate that one, 160 times 640 times 1,000. So, that will be 102,400,000. Okay. And the another plan, ito naman yung another plan natin. Control C. And then, Control V. Okay. NXX. NXX naman to. So, pagdating sa NXX natin, okay, the value of N is 8. So, 8 times Rx is 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, that is 800. 800 times 800 times 1,000 equal to times 800 times 1,000 is equal to 640 million. Okay. So, i-represent po muna kung ilang digits ba yung nandun sa variable x natin. We have 10. Sa variable n natin, we have 8. Then, our variable y, we have 2. Then, pag nakuha na natin yung value ng mga variables natin, then we do the representation. And then, we do the multiplication. Okay. So, eto na po yung output natin. So, we had here 8 times 2 times 10 for our NYX, 8 times 10 times 10 for our NXX, and 8 times 8 times 10 for our NNX. And our XXXX is we have 10,000. So, if we're going to multiply that one for a number of whole plans, we had 1,024,000,000, and for our new plan, we had 6,400,000,000. Okay. Next, we have also what we call the counting subsets of a finite set. Okay. Use the product rule to show that the number of different subsets of a finite set S is 2 raised to n. Okay. So when the elements of S are listed in an arbitrary order, there is a one-to-one correspondence between subsets of S and bit strings of length S. So when the ith element is in the subset, the bit string has a 1 in the nth position and a 0 otherwise. So by the product rule, there are 2 raised to S such bit strings and therefore 2S subsets. So ibig sabihin dito, we are dealing already with our bits. So magbi-bits naman tayo dito. Okay. So, halimbawa, we have if A1, A2 to AM are finite sets, then the number of elements in the Cartesian product, so balikan natin yung Cartesian product natin, we are distributing, di ba, of this set is the product of the number of elements of each set. So, the task of choosing an element in the Cartesian product when we multiply that one or when we distribute that one is done by choosing an element in A, an element in A raised to subscript of 2 and an element in subscript of infinity. So by the product rule, it follows that A1 times A2 times A to the infinity. Okay. So paano natin yan gagawin? Halimbawa, we have here, we are doing the Cartesian product. So dinidistribute po natin siya. Okay. During a local campaign, okay, we had 3 Republican, ABC, and 2 Democratic. Okay. Candidates are nominated for president of the school board. How many possibilities exist for a pair of candidates, one from each party, to oppose each other for the eventual election? Okay. So, nandito tong mga 3 Republican natin. So, we substitute them as A, B, and C. Okay. And 2 Democratic candidates. Okay. Ito naman yung 1 and 2 na Democratic candidates natin. So, we're going to do the Cartesian product. Si A, i-distribute natin kay 1 and then kay 2. So, we will have A1 and A2, likewise B1 and B2, and C1 and C2. So, how many possibilities? So, if we're going to count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, there are 6 possibilities na pwedeng mag-pair yung ating Republican doon sa ating Democratic candidate. Okay. We're done with the product rule. Okay, nagmumultiply lang po tayo dun sa product rule. Now naman is a sum rule. Okay, madali lang din tong sum rule because we are only adding from one set to another set. Okay, if a task can be done either in one of n1 ways or in one of n2 ways to do the second task, where the two sets of ways are disjoint, then there are n1 and n2 ways to complete the task. Pero kailangan yung sets natin, it should be disjoint set. Alam niyo naman yung disjoint set, di ba? In a disjoint set, there are no elements na pwede silang mag-unite or mag-union. Okay. So, another example. Okay. The mathematics department must choose either a student or a faculty member as a representative for a university committee. How many choices are there for this representative if there are 37 members of the mathematics faculty and 83 mathematics major and no one is both faculty and a student? Okay, ibig sabihin, meron tayong a set of mathematics faculty and a set of mathematics major. So, parehong disjoint. So, that is a disjoint set. Kasi walang student or walang faculty na parehong mathematics, wala tayong member na mathematics faculty and na parehong student din siya. Okay. So, yun yung tinatawag natin na disjoint set. So, if we're going to do the sum rule, we're just adding 37 and 38. So, we had 37 and 83. So, 37 plus 83, the total is we had 120 possible ways to pick a representative. Okay. Another example, I want to take a trip to the beach. I can travel to one of 37 international beaches or one of 14 domestic beaches. How many beach vacation choices do I have? Okay. So, 37 na beaches and 14. Nabasa nyo na yan. Walang beach na pupuntahan niya na parehong nasa na nag-join. Okay, so it is still a disjoint set. So, ibig sabihin, 37 plus 14. So, if we're going to add 37 plus 14, we had 51 bitches. Okay, another one. If we roll two dice, one green and one purple. Okay, green and purple. It is, again, a disjoint set. How many ways are there to get a sum of 7 or 11? Okay. I think this one is should fall. This one also fall in the magfo-fall ito sa multinomial yata. Pero meron din naman explain ko later yung mga ways na yan pagdating ng later. Pero nasa ano na rin siya, nasa sum rule na rin kasi siya eh. Kasi we are dealing how many ways kasi. Halimbawa yung sum of 7, anong mga number, dalawang klaseng number ang pwede nating i-add para makuha natin si 7. Okay, so there is a typo here. So this should be a parenthesis. Okay, so 1 and 6, 6 and 1, 2 and 5, 5 and 2, 3 and 4, and 4 and 3. So sa 7 natin, meron tayong 6 ways. Okay, sa 11 naman is dalawa lang. So 5 and 6, and 6 and 5. So if we're going to add that one, 6 and 2, we always could get 8 ways. So, magkakaroon tayo ng 8 ways to get the sum of 7 or 11. Okay. Okay. The sum rule can be phrased in terms of sets. A union B. A plus B as long as A and B are disjoint sets. So, nasabi ko na yan kanina. Kailangan naka-disjoint set yung A and B natin para magamit natin yung sum rule. Okay. Ito example. A woman has decided to shop at one store today, either in the north part of the town or the south part of the town. So, magkaibang town. Okay, so walang union of set diyan, disjoint set kasi magkaibang town siya. Okay. Nag-visit siya dito sa north part town. So, ang i-visit niya is a mall, a furniture store, or a jewelry store. So, tatlo yung visit niya sa north part. If she visit the south part of the town, then she will shop at either in clothing or a shoe store. Okay. Doon naman sa south part, dalawang store naman yung i-visit niya. So, how many possible shops are there? So, if we're going to add the 3 in the north and the 2 in the south, we will be having 5 possible shops. Okay. Okay. Another example. A BSIT student has two friends. One of his friends has three textbooks on the application of discrete mathematics, and the other has five textbooks. Okay. So, yung isang kaibigan niya, meron daw siyang tatlong textbook. Okay. On the application of discrete mathematics. Yung isang kaibigan naman niya is merong 5 textbook. If n denotes the maximum number of different books on this topic that this student can borrow, give the possible value for n. Okay, so nandun na po siya. 3 tsaka 5. Okay, so the output is 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. So the value of n is 8. Okay, ayan. So minimum natin is 5, maximum of 8. Minimum of 5 kasi pwede kasi na doon sa 5 textbook na meron doon, nandun din yung tatlong application of discrete mathematics. Kaya nasabi niya that the minimum is 5 and the maximum is 8. Okay. Another example, if we're going to combine the sum and the product rule, suppose a statement labels in a programming language can either be a single or a letter followed by a digit, or a single or a letter. Okay. So, letter followed by a digit. Single letter or followed by a digit. So, 26 and 26. Find the number of possible labels. Okay. So, dito kasi sa 26 and 26 natin, parehong may union of sets. 'Di ba? We are already dealing with the union of sets ng parehong letters natin. So, we need to multiply. Pag i-multiply na natin siya kay 10, ito yung digit natin. So, find the number of possible labels. So, 286. Okay. Another one. Combining the sum and product rule. One wants to go to Cubao. He can choose from three bus services or two train services to head from home to downtown Pasay. From there, he can choose from two bus services or three train services to head to Santolan. So how many ways are there for one to get to Santolan? Okay. So he has three bus plus two train. Okay. So he has five ways to get to the downtown Pasay. Okay, that is our rule of thumb. Kasi magkaiba yung bus natin tsaka yung train natin. Dito yung or natin. Okay. And then from there he can choose a bus. Okay. A bus service or a train service. Okay, magkaiba na naman yan. To head to Santolan. So 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Okay. How many ways are there for one to get to Santolan? So, 5 times 5 is equal to 25 ways to get to Santolan in total. Okay. Now let's proceed to permutation and combination. I think I will be uploading permutation and combination in another tutorial. So I will end the discussion on this part only. Then I will be creating additional tutorial for the permutation and combination para hindi masyadong mahaba itong nire-record ko para mas madali lang siyang i-download or mas madali lang siyang panoorin. So if you had any question on the basics of counting, you can just chat or send me a message in our chat group or in our GC para mas ma-explain ko siya. Or even pagdating na lang ng, pwede din kayong mag-ask sa akin pagdating ng, pag bumalik na tayo ng school, pag may mga parts na hindi na masyadong naintindihan. Okay, so let's call it today. Thank you for watching and see you in the next tutorial.